Landon Donovan decided to take money from a bank in order to say that he was a fan of the Mexican national team. Now, the Mexican national team is known for several things. Throwing feces during, the fans are, throwing feces during our national anthem, throwing urine on the players, chanting that they were fans of Osama Bin Laden in the wake of 9/11 when we went to play in Stadium Azteca, all of those things. Mexican soccer fans, when the U.S. is involved, behave like that's fine, all right? I respect a good rivalry where one side genuinely detests the other side, all right? Landon Donovan went on Twitter and said, the tournament is here, USA fans, our team may not be in Russia, but our neighbors to the south are, so join me and their proud sponsor to cheer on our other team. He also held up a scarf that said, my other team is Mexico. Now, many of the U.S. men's soccer team members did not take kindly to Landon Donovan, a former captain of the U.S. men's soccer team, suddenly endorsing the biggest rival that U.S. soccer has, all right? The way that I would convey this if you don't care about soccer is, would it make you feel a little bit queasy to your stomach if Tom Brady, before Ohio State started a playoff game, held up a jersey that said, my other team is Ohio State. I encourage you, even though I'm a Michigan man, to choose to cheer for the Buckeyes. I think all of you out there just cringe a little bit. If you are an Army or a Navy guy, would it make you a little bit sick to have Army or Navy endorse the other team? If you are an Alabama fan, how would you feel if one of your top people out there made the decision that they were going to be out there, like Charles Barkley suddenly showed up and encouraged everybody out there to decide to root for Alabama? Again, that's effectively the decision that they are making. That is totally crappy. Somebody says, not if they're getting paid for it. I think it's even worse if they are getting paid for it, because you know they don't mean it. They are selling out their soul as a member of the sports community for what? A couple of $100,000? I would not do it. And neither would many of Landon Donovan's teammates, to their credit. They ripped him. I'd rather cut off my toe than root for Mexico. And I'm on the outside on this one. But how could I root for our rival? I imagine any American players rooting. I can't imagine how they would feel if I rooted for Mexico. I'm old school. Kyle Martino said, can't tell you how disappointing it is to have made personal and financial sacrifices to try and hold our federation accountable, only to see former U.S. men's team members profit off the result of that poor governance by asking U.S. fans to support our rivals in the tournament we failed to reach. And then this continues. Landon Donovan did have the audacity to go totally PC bro. When Carlos Bocanegra tweeted, really, Landon Donovan went super PC bro and responded. He said, well, maybe he's deleted the tweet. Maybe he's deleted the tweet because I don't see it right now. Landon Donovan called out Carlos Bocanegra and said, your dad is Mexican. How dare you not support Mexico in this game? Hey, you can like Mexico as a country. You can even hope good things happen to Mexico as a country. But they are our hated soccer rival. To me, this is indefensible. This is Landon Donovan selling all of the people who supported him when he was a U.S. men's team member just completely out and going with whatever money they would provide. It is such a ridiculous decision. I'm not giving any props to the company that made the decision to do this either. I'm not even mentioning them, because this is also an example where they should not make the decision. The company should be smart enough not to do this. This is a ridiculous decision by Landon Donovan. I'm fired up about it. And if you're not fired up about it, it probably means you don't understand rivalries at all. You don't support a team who boos during your own national anthem. You don't support a team who throws feces and urine on you. And you certainly don't support a team that cheers an Osama Bin Laden pro chant in the wake of 9/11. I'm a guy who understands how advertising works. I would never, ever endorse something that was a hated rival of mine simply for money. You'll never see me do it. I do have standards, even though sometimes they shock people. And if I were in Landon Donovan's position, this would be a non-starter from the moment I was asked. So this makes me dislike Landon Donovan. The way that he responded in PC Bromani style to being challenged by other members of the U.S. soccer team, it literally makes me feel sick to my stomach. And it looks like a couple of these have vanished in terms of the tweets that were in this story earlier today. Oh, here it is. Sorry. Here it is. Landon Donovan went all PC Bromani on Carlos Bocanegra and said, "You grew up in Southern California and owe much of your soccer skill to playing with Mexicans. Your father is of Mexican descent. Look around our country. Are you happy with how we are treating Mexicans? Open your mind. Stand for something and remember where you came from." That was Landon Donovan responding to a U.S. men's soccer team member who called him out. Then, to his credit, Herculez Gomez came roaring in like Hercules himself and said, "This is an incredibly terrible take, questioning one's loyalties to culture and or heritage because he questioned you for taking marketing dollars to root for your sporting rival. You can hate El Tree. This doesn't mean you have anything against Mexicans." And that was a strong play.